Namaste. Welcome back to Mindful Serenity Yoga, or Waking Up in a Busy World. And once again, I'm going to take a question out of this jar of many questions and attempt to answer it within 10 minutes. Question. I'm going to set the timer. And the question is, what is wisdom and how do we gain it? What is wisdom and how do we gain it? I'm going to take a breath. What is wisdom and how do we gain it? Well, these questions do not get any easier, do they? What is wisdom? Maybe I can begin by telling you what wisdom isn't. Wisdom isn't conceptual knowledge. Wisdom is not, it's not that is gained from intellectualization and analysis and data collection and reading and determining and, picking apart. Wisdom is definitely a form of knowing, but not by concepts or by terms or labeling or by organizing data. It is gained, it's not even gained, in fact, it's something that's already within us. Wisdom is what we are equipped with from the moment that we're born. It's something we carry with us from one generation to the next, from one incarnation to the next, from one evolution of the species to the next. It's a natural phenomenon. It's a recurring natural phenomenon, wisdom. It's something that we have within us already. So really, when we think we're seeking answers to gain wisdom, we're really not seeking the answers to questions to gain wisdom, because we already have wisdom, and it cannot be gained by the answering of questions. We can be pointed towards that wisdom that's already within us through the answers to particular questions, through the teachings of great spiritual masters, or through any kind of master, poetic or literary or scientific. We can be pointed to that wisdom, but the wisdom is not something we obtain or gain. It's something we connect to. I believe there's just one universal wisdom that we all share. So many of us, including myself, are disconnected from it because of our minds and all the mental modifications and the veil that ego puts between us and it. We're too busy reacting to emotions and to experiences, believing that we are, a part of those experiences, attached and clinging and pushing away. So busy doing that we often don't tap into that wisdom that's within us already. When we're still, when we're quiet, when we're in that refuge, that island that's within us all, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, we will tap into that wisdom. We will have a greater clarity than we could ever have, through collecting intellectual knowledge or conceptual knowledge. I don't care how many years of university you have, that does not make you wise. Your ability to connect to this self, this deep self, is where the wisdom is. And that's where you will gain most of your wisdom. I am not a wise person by any means, and I'm not saying I am, but I attempt to be wiser every time I take a deep breath. For example, at the beginning of this process, I always take a deep breath to ground myself so I can get beyond what I think I know or what ego tells me I know, to this wisdom that's within, to this true knowing that cannot be explained with words. So, wisdom is a tricky thing to describe. So it's hard to answer that question, because wisdom is beyond labels and concepts and intellectual knowledge and you know? It's a step beyond that. At the same time, we can look at knowledge and say, okay, so it's greater than that. Yeah, it's greater than that. It's greater than all the knowledge we've collected so far. It's a far deeper knowing. It's a far more profound knowing. It's a far more inexplicable knowing. It's everything. So the part of the question that asks, well, how do we attain it? Well, we go in. We go deeper. We don't gain more on the superficial level in hopes that we will attain wisdom. We go deeper and just simply fall into wisdom, to the wisdom that's already there. The wisest people are the most peaceful people for a reason, because they've tapped into this inner spaciousness. They're aware of it, and they operate it from there, and they have greater clarity. I think wisdom prevents us from getting lost in our reactivity so that we can handle situations better, more wisely. Our clarity is better. We see the whole picture in a different way, and because we're not reacting to emotions, when we reach that state of wisdom, to our emotional energies, we respond in a way that is brought about by inspired action and a wisdom that tells us exactly what needs to be done, if anything needs to be done. It helps us to be in the moment. That's wisdom. I'm not sure if I made any sense with that question, but with that answer to that question, but that's what I have to share today. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.